Okay, so this fourth video is a review on writing dialogue. So when you write dialogue, you should write conversations, right? You want to let the character speak as they normally would speak. So people interrupt each other, trail off, etc. So you want to keep the conversations moving along. You can leave some things to the reader's imagination. And we always indent every time someone new speaks. You start a new paragraph because that tells us that the speaker is changing. So we don't always have to then identify Carter said, Sadie said, Carter said, I said. You do still do those attributions. We do still identify who the speaker is if there's more than one person present. Or if there was some description in there as well, just to keep it clear who's speaking. So I have some examples. You want to try and let the character's words show their emotion. You want to use an attribution telling us how the speaker said it. Carter responded angrily. When the words themselves don't convey it, they could be said multiple ways. But if the words show the emotion, you don't always have to have an attribution. So this is from page 203 of the Red Pyramid. And it starts with description, right? Maybe I'd made a noise. Maybe her magical senses had kicked in, but faster than I could react, Zia pulled her wand and turned on me. So it starts with description of what's happening, and then the dialogue starts. Hi, I said nervously. Her expression turned from anger to surprise and then back to anger. Carter, what are you doing here? Just walking around. I saw you in the courtyard. So, what do you mean you saw me? So notice how at first we identify who's speaking and then we stop because it's going back and forth between them. And notice the margin is here on the left, right? But every time the speaker changes, even though they're just one line long, we go ahead and tab over the start of that next person's words. And then here we have some description in it again. She dropped her wand and the fire died. I don't appreciate being followed, Carter. Sorry, I thought you might be in trouble. So this tells us that Zia is speaking to Carter, and this is Carter's response. And then again, we have some description. So don't get so wrapped up in your dialogue that suddenly we have 20 lines with no description. There should be some. Her expression turned from anger to surprise and then back to anger. So you should have some description of what it looks like as characters are talking and things that are happening. She dropped her wand, the fire died. This is Sadie's point of view, and you'll notice the vocabulary and rhythm is different. This is Carter's, this is Sadie's, this is Sadie speaking. That's vandalism, isn't it? I asked, marking up an ancient drawing like that. Carter didn't seem to hear. There's a descriptive statement. I've seen this picture before. It's in a lot of tombs. I don't know why it never occurred to me. And then the ellipses show he's trailing off, right? He doesn't finish his sentence. And then this is Sadie. I studied the picture more closely. Again, we got a little bit of description, a little bit of action in here. And then she starts speaking again. So again, you'll notice that the dialogue, even though it's really short, gets indented, okay? So punctuating your dialogue, just a reminder, dialogue is the words a character speaking, so they go inside quotation marks. We use commas to separate the attributions, phrases such as he said, from the dialogue itself. We place the comma outside the opening ones, but inside the closing ones. So it always goes to the left. So here we start with dialogue, Carter, and then the comma goes to the left of the quotation mark. My dad said, and then again, the comma goes to the left of the quotation mark, right? Go on ahead. So here there's no space. Here there is a space. It's attached to this said, not to the quotation marks, and here it's attached to Carter. So it always attaches to the word the comma follows. Again, it's to the left of the quotation marks. After late as usual, she said. Question marks, if the character's asking a question, gets put inside. So what? I asked. So there's a period after asked, but the character is asking a question, so the question goes inside. The same with the exclamation point. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask in class. I'm happy to help you. I may refer you back to these notes, but I will help you get the right answer.